It's up to my in-laws because I do a hog roast every year up there, and I used to borrow one of the other firefighters, and then I bought Chris's. It was Chris's.
That's fantastic, man. I keep getting receipts from my wife, so she's down at the Sip and Save tonight, spending money, which is good, right?
Yeah.
Is it not Sip and Save? What's it called? Sip and Shop.
Sip and Shop.
Yeah, Sip and Shop.
It's the opposite of Sip and Save.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, we're going to get rolling here. So welcome to another episode for those that are watching the Mental Health Hour, Tim. That's what we call this thing. It's pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty fancy to hang out. We shot a little bit different tonight because I like sitting in front of the windows. It creates a little bit of challenges with the lights. Yeah. But, you should never, shoot in front of a mirror, kind of what we're doing. But I was like, screw it, man. We're going to do it anyways because I like the Main Street traffic here at Indie Coffee Roasters.
It's pretty awesome. Honestly, this just what they've done in Carmel.
Oh, yeah, right? Come on.
20 years, it's crazy.
Yeah, this is amazing. So, we'll kind of jump in here, man. So if you are listening tonight, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and welcome to another episode of the Mental Health Hour. This is a little different. Normally we shoot on Thursdays, but with everything this month and me being on some PTO and blah, 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 we decided to do it on a Wednesday tonight. So we're throwing people a curveball. But we call this the Mental Health Hour is what we call it. And we're celebrating, I guess, or recognizing November. I have just an awful beard going.
Right.
You had an amazing mustache.
I had the start of my mustache.
Dude, listen, you had probably one of the best mustaches I've seen. And if you haven't seen Tim's mustache, you need to go out to some Carmel Pictures, Carmel Fire Department, and check it out because it's world class.
I only grew it once a year, and this took a long time. This was 20 years in the making because Renee, who you met, public education officer, her husband Joe, longest working Carmel firefighter in history on truck. Yeah, Joe was.
I didn't know.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he was like my mentor. Like my lieutenant for years. Joe's he literally the Marlboro Man, killer mustache. And when I first started, and for years I tried to grow in it, and it looked terrible. And it did come in. Now, funny, I'm the PIO for the fire department, and I go on the news, gone on morning news and done stuff. And when I started growing it the first time, some of the people that were watching the news wrote in why is firefighter Tim growing this terrible mustache? It makes his nose
not terrible.
They were like, it makes his nose look enormous.
Come on.
And I called him out and I said, look, I appreciate that because I always just thought my nose made my nose look enormous because it's big. But I appreciate you guys saying it's the mustache.
I mean, Austin, our producer back here, I'm so grateful. Austin, our son, he's hanging out. He'll probably pop on camera here in a minute. He's got a nice beard. You ought to see his head of hair. If you could get a freaking, you should pull that hat off and just show people, Austin. This kid's got hair most ladies would love this hair. I mean, look at this stuff, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's locks of love if I've ever seen it. Huh?
Oh, yeah. They are. Look at that.
Locks of love, baby.
If I grow mine, it just throws up. It's not good.
Mine's definitely not pretty. Austin, how long did it take you to grow that?
I don't know. I can't even tell you the last time I cut my hair, if I'm being honest with you. I know it's been longer
I want you to be honest with us.
2.5 years. So.
Yeah.
It's been quite a while I've been growing this hair out.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, I've seen you do it. So, but here's the funny thing. He'll just go, now his girlfriend doesn't want him to do it now, but he'll just go cut it all off one day, and then in another year it'll be that long. It's insane. I'm like, I wish I could do that,
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, man. So thanks for joining us, dude. So Tim Griffin, Carmel Fire Department. You said PIO earlier. Let people know what that means.
So public information officer.
Okay.
So I'm on the ladder truck too. So still on shift.
Okay. Right on.
24 hours on ladder 41, which is right off 2 Civic Square.
Yep.
And then 22 years on, and then our public information officer, one of 3. We all kind of have different roles. I'm sort of the guy that heads to the scene, talks to the media.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
MC a lot of events around the city and for the department. So,
on. Well, first and foremost, before we do, appreciate your service, man. Like I said earlier, I have a really good friend of mine that has been a wonderful friend. We don't name names on here, but he's been a part of the Carmel Fire. Almost said PD. Don't do that. Yeah. I love those guys too. I got some good friends on that. Yeah. But the Carmel Fire Department for a very long time, and just has learned such a great deal through him and the friendship that I've had. That I just feel blessed, man, to be able to be a part of just this whole month, man. So it's a pretty cool deal.
It's exciting. This has kind of been something for the Carmel Fire Department. Started a couple of years ago, kind of getting behind Movember. Yeah. Wearing shirts, and then
got the buttons on.
We got buttons, and then we had a perfect monument here in Carmel that we wanted to kind of recognize. So a couple of Movembers ago, or Novembers, on the last day, we said, at the morning sun or morning sunrise, like we kind of talked about like, hey, let's make that our place, because everybody deserves their tomorrow's morning sunrise, right?
I love it, man.
So we, on November 30th, the first time gathered there on the 30th of November, took a picture, and that morning on the last day of November, we posted it, and we kind of mentioned, we said we'd be nuts not to have one more Movember post and talk about the importance of men's health, whether that's getting to the doctor for those checks, like testicular, prostate, colon cancer, getting to the doctor, but also mental health, which is obviously a huge portion of that. And as guys, we're not good at that. So we talked about that, kind of want to make that our symbol. For me, I would love if somebody or people start to, when they survive, whether it's one of those cancers or a mental health situation, they come to Carmel, they go to the Morning Sun and they point, take a picture, share it with Carmel Fire Department, City of Carmel, Hamilton County, share it and say, hey, I've survived.
That's right,
Others
man.
can do it too.
Yeah, I think that's such an encouraging thing to do. And if people don't know what we're talking about, it's the roundabout very far north on Rangeline Road.
Yes.
It represents maybe, to me anyways, maybe a prickly chin. Some other folks might think something else.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a prickly chin.
Yeah. Some people think it looks like other things. And for us, I want, and people
let your mind wander.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And you know what? Even the artist has gotten behind. We've talked to him. He supports what we're doing. And the thing is, to me, I want to make this everybody's favorite roundabout in Carmel, because it's the only one raising money for cancer and mental health.
Yeah.
And what better?
That's a great point.
To take art and actually, which is already a wonderful thing, and then have it raise awareness.
There's a few flags out there right now. I drove by it today, man. There's some flags out.
We have already surpassed. So last year we were at 2,500. If we don't know, we kind of explain. So in this Movember event, the whole month of November, we've got a QR code, we've got a link, you can donate.
These Austin's got a slide up there, we can throw it up.
Every $5 that people donate, we're going to put a flag in that roundabout. You can put a name, we can put it on it, you can leave it blank, some people are. But those flags represent kind of our movement to make aware of Movember, and every time we get every $5, and I think last year was around $2,500, $2,200, and I believe we're already surpassed that.
That's amazing, man. Well, for our audience, anyways, I do this a lot too, Tim, because as you know, you're in the public eye, man. We stream on YouTube, as you're probably watching if you are watching. And then we're on all the streaming services, so like Spotify, Amazon, Apple, all that. So if they're, from an audio perspective, I always love to take a few minutes anyways, like in the front end of this stuff too, just to kind of give people a layout who do listen, because it's kind of wild, right? Like when we started doing these podcasts a while ago, and we've dropped now probably close to 70 plus podcasts. We do two different versions, one like this, and then we also do one at a studio that's helped us out greatly called LDR Studios. I always try to give people kind of a visual of us hanging out, right? So I usually plug Indie Coffee Roasters. They're such a great partner of ours, Diane and her entire team. They make us coffee. They have 4 locations. See, I didn't mess it up, Austin. They have 4 locations here in central Indiana. One right here on Main Street, which is super cool. Come down. Carmel's one of the best areas to come around Christmas, man. Come and check it out. They have two locations here in Carmel, one here and then one on the north end. Yeah. And then they have one on the Purdue campus and one in Noblesville as well. So they've grown a lot, man. They're so kind to us. They're like, yeah, come in, shoot your podcast. We'll support you guys, and they love what we do. And that's why I say this is because Building a Refuge is a men's mental health support organization. We've been in existence since 2018. We tend to like to say we do things a little bit different because we just talk about dude shit. That's just what we do. We try not to maybe amplify it in terms of like, hey, you got to do this or you got to do that. We just try to be real about it. And what that looks like is events that we put on, like we got one coming up on Sunday called the Swing for Hope. We're going to do a partnership with the VFW and with the Carmel Fire Department as well. So we're grateful that you guys chose us to be the recipient of this. This is huge honor for us. And I just think it's really cool, Tim. So I appreciate,
No, thank you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't, stuff like this, getting the word out for Movember, it doesn't happen by ourselves, right? Yeah. It helps with partnerships with VFW, you guys spreading the word about mental health, and especially this month for men's mental health, because honestly, we're not good at it.
Right. We're not good at it. I mean, we're not good. Like you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. You know, even like going to the doctor, man. Like I have my annual, exam is next week, and I would tell men, if you're listening, just go. I mean, it sucks. I don't want to go either because they're going to be like, oh, you got this wrong, you got that wrong. I feel like every time I leave there, I'm like, Jesus, I'm not going to make it till the end of the week, let alone go deer hunting this weekend. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to make it anywhere.
Yeah, but I think, I get nervous. I've told you, doing our job, line of work, definitely, there's a higher risk of cancers and so forth. But it doesn't change the fact if it's there or not. If I go or I don't go, I still have the problem.
Still got it.
So let's find out. Early detection saves lives, and that's the same with early detection and mental health.
Yeah,
that is so important because I think we're not. Like I said, I'm 21 and a half years on the fire service. When I started, we really didn't talk about it. Right? We saw some things. You came back. Nobody talked about it. Nobody said, you okay?
Yeah.
You moved on. That's what you did. And I was on the back end of, the really hard-nosed guys, the old school, much old schooler than I am, obviously. But we're really getting better, and we're moving quick in the fire service, obviously military too, PD, because of that PTSD, things we're seeing. We do need to talk about it. We need to get back and say, hey, is everybody okay?
Right.
Anybody need anything? 2 or 3 days later.
It's just taking a time out. You know what I mean? It's just taking a time out and checking in like, man, are you all right? All right, so I'm going to back up. You mentioned this a little bit. You've been on 22 years. So what year did you join Carmel?
April of 04. April of
04, okay.
April 12th.
And you're from Indiana,
I
right?
am.
Okay.
I am,
You're a Carmel guy.
I did. I moved here when I was 14 into Carmel and been here since.
Nice.
Met my wife at the...
You're a true Greyhound.
Yeah, I am. I was a Greyhound wrestler, coached wrestling. Met my wife at unfortunately, the Smoky Row pool, which was just torn down. It was torn down last week. Heartbreaking.
Dude. Oh my gosh! Right?
I mean, literally, my wife and I lifeguarded there together.
Did you guys go over there and have one last look, like just one?
Oh yeah, I was sad. I looked. I mean, this was my, from 14 to 20, I lifeguarded there every summer. It was the best summer job. I had responsibility, but I was hanging out at a pool.
Right, get a tan.
Got tan.
Yeah, right.
Met tons of great people.
I mean, I feel like you were pretty shy. You didn't talk to many people, did you?
Yeah, I was super shy. Yeah, I think my first report card, kindergarten, said tends to socialize too much. And it said that for the rest of time. And the funny thing is, years later, one of the kids I coached in wrestling, he had to do something for his thesis. He said, hey, Coach Griffin, can you meet with me? And I'm like, sure. So I'm meeting with him, I'm talking, and he's like, I'm like, what are you majoring in? I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. He's like, rhetoric. And I'm like, rhetoric? What
is that?
What is rhetoric? He's like speaking, public engagement and public speaking. I was like, wait, time out. There's a degree in speaking, and my counselor never said, Tim,
what the hell?
Have you thought about trying speaking?
Yeah. No. I mean, come on. There's a thing, right? Yeah. That's awesome, man. So, all right. So, went to Carmel, married your wife anyways, kids?
Yeah. So my wife and I went to IUPUI for education. We got on the fire department beforehand.
Yeah.
She went to DePaul. We were together all through college. And then, got married. She went to law school. We got married her second semester of first year law school. And then right after she got done with law school, we had our first little girl. And then we had 5 others to follow. So
that's great, dude. You're the epitome of a girl dad.
I am the epitome of a girl dad. I have literally
you've painted your nails before, I take it.
They have painted my nails for sure. So I've got Vera, who's 17, Amelia, who's 15, Stella, who's 13, Maria, who's 11, and Elena, who's 9.
Names. I love it.
And then, because we weren't crazy enough, we have basically like an adopted daughter, Renee. She was a nanny from Germany who lived with us. Ended up, only child, moved back. I mean, her mom's great and in Germany, but she moved back here. She's married and has 2 little guys who are amazing. So really, Renee is our 6th daughter.
That's
I mean, she's family to us too. So,
and you said she got 2 little dudes, so you get to be around some little guys, right?
Yeah, her husband Justin was a wrestler. My brother, who I coached, I was a Carmel High School wrestling coach for years. My brother was 7 years younger. I coached him. Tom is the head coach in Westfield. One of his wrestlers was Justin, who then was a college wrestler, came home. Him and Renee met, and he's in his final stages of hopefully getting hired at the Carmel Fire Department.
Oh, that's great, man!
It's pretty awesome.
So it's wild. We have a I was going to say close. We have a nephew that is Hopefully getting close.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
I was on the interview board, so I saw all these
such
individuals.
a great, I'm not, not just because you're here. Austin knows, man. I mean, such a great young man, dude. Like, this kid is just.
It's the best job. Literally, man.
Well, it's funny because, all right, again, my friend, I would never understand this if it wasn't for my friend, right? When he, I think he joined, it was probably right off like late 90s, somewhere in there. But he had a pretty good job, like, when he moved here. Yeah. Like, really good job, right? But his passion was being a fireman. His dad's a fireman, you know what I mean? It's in the family. And so he would come home from this because he trained here in the city, right? Went through all the training, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, it was just, it's been fun to watch him. And then us, like, because we would come from Fishers. We all lived in Fishers. You know, but we would come over here for like the 4th of July parades, and we'd come over here for different things because, you know, I almost said his name. He'd be like, yeah, come over, man. We're doing this fun stuff, you know, or whatever. And so we've been blessed, man, to, you know, just to be able to kind of see a little bit in the window of you know, what it's like to be in a part of the department, I guess, you know. I don't have any idea, Tim. I mean, don't let me fool you, dude. I mean, we used to give him so much shit. I'm not, and Austin's laughing, right? Because we'd be like, you don't work, dude. There's not a, you know, he's like, oh, I got to pull this double or I'm doing this or whatever. I'm like, bullshit. Like, you go in there and you sit in a lazy boy and you play friggin' PlayStation all day long and eat and cook and whatever, right? Now, that's part of it.
It is part of it.
So here's what happened. So my wife and I moved over here 8 years in July, or maybe it was 8 years in July. I think it might have been 8 years in July. Anyways, we moved over here. So we live in downtown. We just live like a few blocks from here. And I told my wife one night, we were kind of laying in bed, and it was the middle of probably late summer or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. She's like, what? I was like, I got to call so-and-so. And she's like, why? I was like, I got to apologize to him. She's like, why? I was like, listen to that freaking fire engine. That thing runs nonstop. Like, it just goes nonstop. Like, whether it's early morning, middle of the night, daytime, whatever. I'm like, that thing runs nonstop. And so he shared with me, like, that's the busiest, you know, it's the busiest house.
He was on the busiest ambulance, the busiest engine for years.
So I wish I know he'd probably get mad if I said his name, so I won't. But I love him, man. He's a dear friend of mine, and
it's, you know, and
I thank him for what he's taught me anyways.
It's not like being at work. It really isn't, because you love it. Like,
yeah.
You're hard to find a firefighter who doesn't love what they do.
Yeah.
And a lot of them do, like him, it was in family.
Yeah.
Or we were talking about it today. He and I actually, and some others, were in a committee kind of about hiring and the process. And most do have either family, they've seen it, or they've had an event.
Yeah.
That was mine. Mine didn't have family. My best friends, my senior year of high school, were in a head-on collision coming back from senior skip day.
You were?
I was following them. So,
70-mile-hour
head-on collision. The driver fell asleep, and we were watching him. And he one way or the other. And I was like, "What is he doing?" And then, bam! I mean, still one of the most horrific things I've ever seen.
Oh my God!
Only the driver was buckled in. So myself and my best friend, it was
where were you guys coming from?
We were coming back from Crawfordsville. So we had been at what's the state park there?
Oh, Turkey Run.
Turkey Run, thank you.
Yeah.
We were coming back from Turkey Run, and my mom, when I tell this kids to at school or other, you know, tell the story, I'm like, man, your parents know. I know you think they don't, but my mom, we had been up all night the night before. She's like, I'm really worried. You guys are tired. I'm like, Ma, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And they fell asleep and hit head on, and Chris, he was like, when I got to the car, we couldn't get in. We were lifeguards. We tried to just check airways, doing what we could. Colleen, she was okay. Well, nuts, and she had kind of your stereotypical concussion.
Oh my gosh!
So she's asking the same thing over and over. Chris, we got out of the car, we laid him on the side of the road, so don't move. He ended up having broken vertebrae, a broken back.
Holy smokes!
The other two were embedded in the dashboard, and I didn't know how they were. Myself and my best friend Andy, we had to call the parents from the scene.
Yeah.
Fire department showed up, cut him out of the car. Jay and we've shared this story, so I will say Jay's name because I've shared it publicly. He knows. I mean, he broke his jaw in 4 places, 70 staples in his head. I mean, the amount of injuries, airlifted to Methodist.
Talk about PTSD, dude. Like, that's
shouldn't have made it, and miraculously not only made it, full recovery. Jay played rugby for Purdue. I'm godfather to his son Patrick. Him and his wife have 3 awesome kids, 2 daughters.
Jeez,
and they live here in Hamilton County. But I started thinking about it. I went to school for education, but I was going to do, started elementary, then physical education kind of switched to, but I kept thinking about the fire service. And I remember I called my wife, Teresa, at the time we were dating.
Yeah.
And I remember the call. I said, I'm going to switch gears. I said, I got to do this fire department thing.
Yeah.
I switched, started doing fire science, started applying at fire departments, got hired. And I can't imagine.
So your first job was here in Carmel?
Yep.
Okay. So you haven't been in any other department?
Nope. Got hired in Carmel.
Awesome,
and honestly,
it's fantastic.
It's that's one of those things when I talk to younger kids about certain things. In my short life of 18 years at that point, that was the most horrific thing I'd ever seen, and still one of the most horrific. But it became kind of defining for me.
Sure,
because it literally took me on a path that I never thought I would go on, and the fire service has given me so many other opportunities and given me so many.
Wow, dude! Tim, what a story, man! Like that.
Hey, Tim, I want to circle back here for a minute because it's kind of perfect for the question. So you had mentioned, it's greatest job ever, and every firefighter I've ever talked to says that.
Yeah.
How do you all keep that mindset of, I absolutely love this. This is the greatest job ever. When even in experience prior to you becoming a firefighter, with PTSD and just traumatic situations and things that y'all see, how do you keep that mindset of, man, this is such a great job. It's so fulfilling when you do see a lot of, horrible things.
I think, honestly, for me, that's you got to take your breath. You see the bad stuff, but then you go on a run where you deliver a baby, right? You help somebody bring somebody into the world. Or one of my first runs, I remember really serious patient in respiratory distress. I'm breathing for him, and one of the firefighters looks at me, and I'm brand new, I'm wide-eyed doing this, and he's like, "Don't stop! You're doing good breaths. You're keeping this person alive." Because they were, besides the respiratory arrest, everything else was working, And he said, "You're keeping them alive," and I was like, "I'm making a difference." And I think firefighters, they really do. Not to it's weird talking about myself. I'm not. I'll talk about the guys that I work with and the girls, right?
Yeah.
They got involved to help people, and I think they know they're making a difference. Now, I do think it becomes real, right? The PTSD can become overwhelming, where they can no longer do this if whether it becomes too much of a mental strain, and that's where you do have to find that balance of probably talking about it. And some of those individuals that's happened to, we weren't doing the right stuff to help them prepare for that, and hopefully we are. And even if you do, there are certain things that we may see, and we'll have to stop. But I don't think that'll stop the love or the passion for what we did, because and not to mention, you're doing every day looks different, right? Mm-hmm. And you are making a difference. You feel like, as a dad, I've got these girls. I mean, when I would come to school and do that talk, I mean, if I drive by the house in the fire truck and they see me, they look at you like a superhero for a portion of part of your life, right? Now my girls are just like, it's what he does.
Yeah. No. Have they, to Austin's kind of question, I thought it's a great question, Austin. I mean, but that's a great point too. Have your kids ever told you hey, man, or dad, I'm scared for you to, because they see maybe what's on TV, or they see things, you know what I mean? Like what firemen do.
I think they're good about it. My wife, when it comes to faith, I'm like a work in progress at all times. I'm trying.
I love that.
My wife is a rock.
God love you,
right?
man. Yeah,
she's
love
amazing.
That, dude.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And so one of the things the girls do, we're Catholic, every time they hear sirens, and they do it now with or without her. The school also does it. When they're younger, they go to Our Lady, then they move to the Carmel schools.
Sure.
But if they hear a siren, they stop whatever they're doing and they say a prayer. And
great.
Justin, who's our kind of like our son-in-law now.
Yeah.
They were driving somewhere. I wasn't there. I think they were going to a sport, and they drove by.
Yeah.
And he actually did Catholic, but he was like, I'd never seen that. He was like, it was moving to me. So I think my wife's faith, I wish I could say mine too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a work.
It's okay, man.
But
look, man, as long as you're chasing him, that's all that matters.
We're chasing for sure. I'm always chasing.
Yeah, that's right.
But she, I think that helps. And I don't, talk about the dangers of it. I think.
No, I get it. Yeah. I mean, but it is dangerous. I mean, you guys are going into dangerous situations all the time, whether it is a fire, an accident, or whatever it might be. I mean, it's what you guys do. And that's why I think, the respect level that I think folks have for first responders is genuine, man. I mean,
it's actually humbling.
Yeah.
For me as a firefighter, we are so fortunate in this community. It's over the top, and thankful. Thank you to all of those. But across the country, you see it.
Sure, people.
And it's humbling to us because it is. I mean, for us, it's a job, and not to sound. It's more than that. It's a career.
Right,
it's a life.
yeah.
These firefighters become your
Let
best
me ask
friends.
you this question because, my friend was a fireman before 2001 or around that same time. Do you think because of 9/11, the perception and the understanding of what firemen do changed?
It grew for sure.
Yeah.
I got hired right, so 2004.
Yeah,
that's when I was really starting to decide to do it.
Yeah.
And for all of us, now we have firefighters that weren't alive when that happened.
I understand.
You know,
Yeah,
21,
that's right.
It's amazing. Yeah. But the feeling, my mom called. I was getting ready to go to IPY. I was in school down there, and she's like, a plane just hit the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
So I flip on the TV, and I see the second plane hit.
Yeah.
And she calls, and my dad like, maybe don't go downtown today.
Right.
And I can remember just being glued to the TV like everyone.
Yeah.
Watching it unfold, watching these firefighters. When that building collapsed, realizing, oh my gosh, what just happened?
Right.
And not even understanding the magnitude of the lives lost. Yeah. But the overwhelming support, yes, definitely grew.
Yeah.
And the one thing that, when we get to 9/11 and we talk during that time, I do news hits and things. I think the one amazing thing for people that were alive in that time that I think we need to capture again is the world did not divide at that point.
No, I know, man.
If I could capture and bottle what happened, nobody cared what religion, whether you were
whatever.
Democrat.
Nobody cared about anything.
People cared about one thing, like your community and being there for each other.
Yeah.
Those next couple of months were awesome when it comes to that.
I just think, I'm thanks for answering it because I think it's a cool question. Not a cool question. I think it's a great question to ask. I grew up in a very small town, Midwest Wisconsin, town of 600 people. So it was a volunteer fire department. And it's interesting because my dad's 83 years old, and there's a lot of guys that are my dad's age or a little younger anyways that all went through their time of volunteering, for the fire department. It was one engine, wasn't anything spectacular, you know what I mean? But what they mainly dealt with up there was, beyond, some automobile accidents and things like that, were really mainly like farm fires. And those are big. You know what I mean? Those are massive barns, man, that would burn. But we were always taught as kids, we always had a genuine respect for our military. So just as we celebrated Veterans Day, and you mentioned it early, thanks to all of our veterans. We appreciate you greatly. For those that are served, and who are not here, I think you have to recognize everybody. So just appreciate you all greatly. But, we grew up in a town where Memorial Day was a big deal. 4th of July was a big deal. Veterans Day was a big deal. Like all those days were always big deals, as a town. And I'm just grateful for that experience because, it's always stuck with me. And I know even Austin, we've always celebrated those days, you know what I mean? And as a family. And like I said, it's fun to have different folks. I mean, we have a lot of different people that have come on, our show, and we're very grateful for it. So, just being able to ask you these questions, Tim, is cool. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know you before Saturday, really. You know what I mean? I didn't. I mean, when you guys called and said, hey, guys, can you guys come out, on Saturday morning to kick this thing off? We're like, yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? And so you never get really I would love to have more, firemen. And quite frankly, I would love to have a lady come on that's a fireman because it's a different
totally different
perspective. You know what I mean? Yep. Yeah. We did this last, what was it, like Austin, it was on our anniversary. We had Sherry, my wife, come on.
Yeah.
First time we've ever had a lady come on the show. And it was cool, man. It was like such a different perspective of mental health. And a lot of the questions were really around like, hey, why is it easier for females to talk? And we put up some statistics and so on and so forth, and it's just interesting.
Oh yeah,
because I think Austin, you probably said it best, man. Like you were like, I think it's just biology. I think it's just anatomy, right? We're just different. Men and women are different.
Yeah,
for
sure. I'm surrounded by women at all times. All times, I'm surrounded.
You're like no shit, dude.
Yeah, man. I see it. Like there's just Sometimes I laugh and I tell my wife that I'm like, some of the conversations I did not know that I'd be having are great. I mean, funny story I'll share.
Yeah.
Shoulder surgery.
Okay.
So shoulder surgery. I'm first shower after my shoulder surgery, like 2 days after. I spin around, and there's my number 4, Maria.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's in there. She's got 4 other sisters and a mom.
Okay.
And she looks at me, and she's like, I didn't know she's in the bathroom. She goes, Dad. And she goes, your vagina, with a B. And I was like, oh, and she's like, Maria, get out of here. So then we had to go through a whole talk of like, what boys have, what girls have.
Right.
It's a whole thing. And then we have to, like, it is, she'd be like, so one day, she's like, what about like her cousin Rocco? Yep. Teresa's like, yep, him too.
Yep. Yeah.
She's driving to school one day and Maria's like, Mom, what about the monkeys? She's like, yeah, the monkeys too. And then it starts a whole conversation like, well, is it weird to sit down? I'm like, girls, I don't want to have this conversation. I don't know any different. I know no different. So
right. You can't ask me this.
I'm not into these questions. I'm uncomfortable. She's like, well, is it? And I'm like, no, we're done. We're done. And then we go to preschool.
Yeah.
Like a week later, Maria's got the family drawing. We go to like meet the teacher at preschool.
Oh my God.
Night. And there's the family drawing. And it's Teresa and the girls. And a drawing of me with the girls, and I am definitely different than everybody else in the picture.
God,
and I was like,
great.
I mean, like stick figure people, but I was like, I was like mortified. I was like, oh my gosh,
you're like that works. That works,
Well, I guess Maria's letting everybody know that that's dad.
That's so awesome, dude. I just think like that kind of stuff is fun, man. You know what I mean? Because I always tell people, and so from a faith perspective, there's opportunities I think that the Lord will give you. Like, you know what I mean? And so I'll bring this up, and Austin will probably laugh at me, but him and his sister are super close, and our daughter is 28 years old, and I remember one day these guys were pretty small, and Cassidy comes ripping down the stairways, and she's pissed, She's like, Dad, Austin told me the guy didn't make the whales. And I'm like, come on over. Let's have a little chat. You know what I mean? And it's just funny because I think the Lord puts you in those situations, man, sometimes like, all right. Because I'm a firm believer too, man. Our God's a little comical at times. Like, I think he'll put you in situations you're like, all right, cool. This is good. Okay, I got it, No, I think that's awesome, dude. But yeah, I think it would be fun, man, to have, I think it would be fun to have a perspective. That's what we try to do, man. I mean, look, we're a men's mental health support organization, but we're not He-Man Woman Haters Club.
No.
That's not what we are.
Well, another good group, I don't want to give them credit. I was in meetings with them today. Yeah. But our police.
Yeah, man. I got you.
I like to joke.
I got a good buddy that retired from Carmel, man.
We have a fabulous relationship with our police here.
Yeah.
A lot of joking. We were texting each other during this meeting today. So I was like, at the end, I was like, well, I did find out that firefighters are still way cooler than PD. But in all honesty, when I talk to kids again, when I go out, I make sure that they know, like, I don't want to tell too many, but we are on this podcast. There are times that PD goes in and makes sure it's safe for us to go in.
That's right, yeah.
And so
Fair
I am
enough.
So grateful to our PD because they also are experiencing a lot of that mental health and PTSD from what they do. And they don't, some places here I think they do, but they don't always get the same love that we get.
They don't. I mean, look, it is what it is. I have a cousin of mine that was in law enforcement for quite a long time, and when you need them, you wish you want them there. But then when you get pulled over and get a seatbelt ticket, it's like you.
When I'm speeding, and they pull me over. Now I've always found. Thank you, Dad, for good advice. This is my father's advice.
Okay,
and I appreciate it. When I get pulled over, first thing if it's night, lights on. Hands on the wheel, and I don't move. And when they get there, I'm like, officer, I'm going to roll down the window. And then if my wallet's in my back pocket, I walk them through because, in all honesty, they don't know what they're walking up on. So I'm always very much like,
man.
And I never deny.
Well, Austin, you went through a J. Everett Light course in law enforcement. You learned that stuff when you were in that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Like you want to come home at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, you just learn, especially in law enforcement, and I'm sure it stands with firefighters as well, as you don't know what you're walking into.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, it could be something as small, entering a house or a traffic stop. You don't know, so you almost automatically have to assume the worst.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy deal, man. But it's all good, buddy.
Yeah.
So, hey, talk to us a little bit about, again, we're here to talk about Movember, but I do want to talk a little bit about this too. You like the Carmel Fire Department. Carmel in general, I say, has a lot of resources, but let's talk a little bit about anyways, like what you all have. I mean, we were out at the kickoff, and I'm going to be back because I don't remember the physician's name that was there. And then you had, I think there was the chaplain that was out, Chaplain Dave, and some other folks. But it seems to me anyways that, as we kind of look at this in the bigger picture of things, And I think you would probably agree that like fire departments in general have started to make, mental health more of a focus, more aware. But it seems like with what Carmel is doing, it certainly to me is like you can see it. It's visible. It's not just Movember, but right now it certainly is a big push. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's not for sure. We have, Dave was there. He's our chaplain.
Yep.
He's a resource, obviously, a great resource for the department. We also have peer support groups.
Yeah.
So they've been trained and can help if there's mental health issues or somebody needs to reach out. And then we have resources through doctors or therapists that they can go to. And it's not just that we're saying it; they're doing it. They're backing it up. Dr. Gardner was there. She's our medical director.
Great. I had a chance to talk to her for a little bit. Yeah,
really good, awesome. And then honestly, even the support from it starts with our city also, like from mayor to elected officials.
Yep, and
they have to fund. Those things, right?
Yeah.
And we are fortunate to have had great elected officials over the years that have not only supported us in our staffing is second to none here, but and our trucks and our equipment, but truly in our personnel for whether it's yearly, we get yearly physicals. That's not cheap to do all of us through heavy yearly physicals and mental health they have there. And then, but you saw one of our city councilors, Rich Taylor, he spoke about personal stuff to him that's happened in his life, which I was so grateful to him to share that story.
Yep.
And he understands what we go through. So it starts with them, and they really are putting that support out there for us.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. I like for people to hear it. You mentioned a little bit earlier, like how many people are on the department?
I think we have pension for 183, but it's always in flux because unlike other jobs, when somebody retires, we can't just hire them and replace that. So we basically roughly do about one hiring a year.
Yeah.
So that could be this next recruit class is going to be big. We're going to have 22 because we have we're aging out where we're having a lot of retirements.
Yeah.
So over that time, we may be shorthanded, but we're not because again, that comes that money. So the city affords us to have people fill in.
Right.
So I work my shift, but if we can allow so many off for vacations, somebody could be hurt or injured.
Yep.
And when that happens, or retirements, we then work overtime to fill that, which comes at a cost. But it's not like overtime like at a factory where we are running short on sprockets. It is literally, it's making sure that we have a full staffed truck at all times. And, we don't run short on Christmas. We don't run short at night.
Yep.
For us, we try to staff those trucks 100% of the time because emergencies really don't care what day it is. They don't care.
You can't plan them. You know what I mean? They're not going to plan them.
We're there 24/7, 365. So.
Well, also too, man. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about this because I know Cal came out. Cal, and I don't. Austin, do you know what Cal? I'm bad about this. I'm not sure what Cal's title is over at the VFW. Darren Bebo's the commander.
Yeah,
and we know Darren. I love Darren.
I can't remember what Cal is too. I have that, and I have it in my notes.
So Cal, don't be mad at us. But Cal he gave one great speech. And he came over to me after he got done. He's like, how was it? I'm like, what do you mean, how was it?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, it was phenomenal. You did a great job. So I love those guys. Me and Austin both are lifetime VFW auxiliary members. I did not serve. My grandfather did. Ironic, I shouldn't say coincidentally, it should be coincidentally. We were just in Wisconsin. My grandmother celebrated her 100th birthday just last week. And so
that's incredible.
They met in World War II. So love my grandpa Tug, man. But that's how Austin and I became auxiliary members over there. And that's how we really got to know that family. And, Darren, Seth, Cal, the entire staff, John, they're fantastic people, man. And I definitely want to call or shout out to them because, they've been a big part of what we've been able to do at Building a Refuge. We have a veteran side of what we do. And what that means to our audience is like if a veteran comes to us, I can point them because the benefits is always the first thing. Benefits are always the first thing that a veteran has to kind of check off the list, if you will, of like, hey, did you check that off? We have a really, really good friend of ours. He's a director at the Veterans Affairs. I get that messed up, Veterans Affairs, but it's the benefits side. And so we can direct a veteran to them to at least research that because what his team does, they'll go in and they will basically review kind of the case and all that. But to me, they go further than that because they talk with the veteran. They find out what's going on. I'll just say this, man. He has done just an exceptional job at helping so many people that have come our way from a veteran perspective. And like you said earlier, Tim, it's hard for me to take accolades on things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever be like, hey, because people come up to be like, man, you guys are really helping. And I'm like, you know. But I've gotten better at it, and I'm grateful that we can do that. We're an organization that's growing too, and because of things like this type of partnership and the partnership we have with the VFW, it's only kind of propelled us. So I know you mentioned earlier too, you guys do a lot with them, right? The
yeah,
VFW.
oh yeah, they've been great. I mean, from our local, so the union, the professional firefighters, they've let us use their facility for years when we didn't have a place for meetings. They invite us to any of the events they're having. Yeah. So they're really
well. This year we'll have to do something when we get back. So we recently our family has been doing what we call Rib Fest. Next year's our 20th year, and so it'll be probably a pretty big deal. But anyways, we had been doing it for many years for the Hamilton County Kids Coats program, and they had some different partnerships come their way and different things that they've been able to do that, they came to us last year and said, hey, we don't want to do the Rib Fest anymore. But we hope it goes on. And I'm like, oh, it'll go on. You know what I mean? And so we were very blessed that it's kind of landed back in our lap again, and we've always kind of had an intention maybe of doing it around building a refuge, but we never wanted to just take it away because that doesn't seem right? Yeah. So anyways, it came back to us this year, and so we went to Darren and Cal and the team. We're like, hey, man, would you guys be open for us hosting it at the VFW? Because we always did a veterans event around Suicide Awareness Day, which is September 10th. So we've always done an event there, or at least around that date. And so they're like, yeah, let's do it, man. And, man, it was something else. It was great. It was
good time. A lot of good food.
So here's what I always tell. Oh, yeah, man. Here's what I always tell people. The Carmel Senior Social Club, the Carmel Senior Social Club, they have a Facebook page. They said it was the best event Carmel put on all year.
Nice.
So it's like, if we could get that,
dude,
we're money, man. This thing is, we're in fantastic.
And really, it was just a bunch of rednecks cooking some
ribs, dude. Yeah, that's what we did.
Now, did your friend, who's the firefighter, help?
So he
used to, right?
Oh, huge part.
Yeah,
and huge part.
Heck of a cook. I
know
that.
we got to the 10th year. So at the 10th year is when we left where we all lived together over in Fishers, and and as things go on, I mean, it's a big commitment. You know what I mean? And it's Labor Day weekend. So it's like a lot of people travel, and the whole reason we started this thing is because a lot of our kids were playing sports, their kids were playing sports, and we're like, we're all home. So we went to Rib America downtown. I don't know if you remember that way back when it used to be at Military Park. We spent a shit ton of money, and it was like, this is just not like, so we were like, guys do, we're sitting in the garage, we're like, hey, if we pool our money together, we'd probably put on a hell of a party. So that's how this whole thing got going. And then it just kind of took off, man. And so, yeah, he was a huge part of it.
I can remember when that's what I was thinking.
So the funny thing is, Tim, is the smoker that we still use today, and I can't remember the fireman. He's a Carmel fireman. I think it lives north of town.
It is. I used to use his.
We have it.
Yeah.
Okay. We still use it today.
Yeah, until I bought Chris's old.
When you see, I don't. Well, you did it. I didn't.
So when I used his old one.
So if you see that guy, you tell him we are still ripping that thing, dude. Like we cooked how much on? We probably cooked 600 pounds of meat on it this year.
Oh yeah,
dude, we killed. And that thing is a workhorse, man.
My father-in-law just said, because we did a hog roast for years where I'd cook a whole pig on Labor Day weekend at their place. We'd get tents and 100 some people come, and we haven't done it the last couple.
Oh, it's so much fun.
They're not one to have kind of that big a crowd, and so he's like, "Should we get rid of it?" And I was like, "I don't think we can get rid of it. I
don't want it. Yeah, you're like, come on, man.
I know it's taking up some barn storage, but like we have it if we need it.
Right. No, you don't. So we're blessed. We have a place to store it here in Carmel, which is fantastic. And now we've used, I don't know, I think we cooked three hogs on it last year, because now people will be like, hey, can you guys cook a hog? We just recently did one, so just another example of what we do. We have we do some collaboration with the American Legion up in Noblesville, and so they have a riding chapter, and they help us out for some of the motorcycle rides that we do for building a refuge. And anyways, they were like, hey man, would you guys consider doing one? I was like, yeah, dude. So I was like, listen, I told her commander, I was like, we'll buy the hog, we'll bring in the smoker. I said, my my son and I will smoke it. You guys don't have to do anything. I said, just be the place for it. And man, it was a huge hit. Like first time we sold out. I mean, that's the deal. Like you want to sell out of food, so sold out. I mean, I was pretty happy with that. But
one of my favorite pictures then when I think of my wife. So 5 kids.
Yeah.
We had Elena the last on Labor Day weekend. So she was born September 2nd.
Okay.
So it was a Friday that we had Teresa.
Yeah. I was there.
I was like, you do? Good job. And so we have Elena. Everybody's coming in for the hog roast Sunday. So we have the baby Friday afternoon, I believe. So Saturday, I leave. I go to the Teresa's parents' farm. I start cooking. My buddies Andy and his brother Tim, they've always helped me. So we stay up all night. So I'm cooking.
Stay up all night.
So we stay up all night cooking this pig. And we got it dialed in where we could actually take shifts, sleep in, and check it. But I was up all night. I leave. I get to the hospital because we're going to go to the hog roast.
Yeah.
And so I get to the hospital to get check Teresa out. It's 5th kid. And we're waiting. The doctor has to sign us out. So we're loading up. Teresa's grandmother was, close to around 90 at this point.
Oh man, yeah.
And she had come in for it. She's wanting to see her. And so literally, like we're waiting the doctor. We're like, when they come, they're like, hey, the doctor just called away, so you guys can't leave. And I was like, like what if we just do?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, they have to sign you out. And I said, this is our 5th kid. I think we're solid.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. We're gonna just. I said we're gonna head out. And they're like, well, you can't. And I said, well, you might want to get somebody to sign us out because
we're leaving.
We're heading out. And they're like, they did get us signed out, but the best was we didn't go home. The first place.
That's why your youngest is got good vibes.
My literally, not even 48 hours old.
Yeah.
We go straight to a hog roast of 100 people.
That's
my mom was
amazing.
dying. She's like, Tim, I'm like, Mom, we'll be outside.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, Teresa will hold the baby. And I have a picture of Teresa, and she's amazing. When she's 6 months pregnant, she is just gorgeous. Teresa literally would just have this tiny little baby belly. She was glowing. And so she's wearing her normal clothes, and she's holding this newborn, and she has like a beer in her hand, and we're at the hog roast. And I was like, and
fantastic.
Some of our best friends have 5.
Yeah.
And they were pregnant at the exact same time we didn't plan it.
Yeah.
So Laura was literally like a week after us, and she was so jealous of Teresa because she's had the baby. She's having a beer, and but I did. I was like, "That's my wife." We literally,
like that's my wife right there.
We literally went straight from a hospital to a hog roast of 100 people.
That's so cool, dude. That's that's fantastic. Yeah. Like you got so next year when we do this hog roast or when we do the rib fest, we'll make sure that the fire department comes out, man, and that'll be so much fun. I think what we're just going to run into though, we'll just run into space issues because that's kind of tight over there.
Oh yeah.
We were at capacity this year. Like I told Seth and Darren, I'm like, look, man, we're gonna press the limits to this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're on docket for like a park behind there or something.
They are, yeah. So, but I don't know if it's gonna be done.
Yeah.
I don't think
next year may not be.
I don't think it'll be done. I think it's scheduled, for 27. But I don't know. We'll work it out. We always have. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I mean they've did a great job. I think the hotel got a little bit. But we told them, and we were like, look, man, there's going to be a lot of people here, okay? So if you want to block off some spots for your people that night, you might want to block off some spots, But they didn't, and so, it is what it is. But, yeah, man, well, that's awesome, dude. So, but, yeah, back to Movember, man. We're super grateful. I think I put some stuff up, Austin, just around some of the statistics anyways. And it is pretty shocking when you look at, how many men actually, I think, what does it say, Austin? Like 4 out of 5 suicides are men, and only one. What's the top one on there?
1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Young men, testicular cancer is the most common cancer diagnosed in young men.
Yeah,
and then 4 to 5 suicide. 4 out of 5 suicides are men.
Yeah. I just think it's, from an awareness perspective, man, and why we're doing this, you know what I mean? It's important. And, I cycle for a team here in the city. I think I maybe had mentioned this to you when we were out, at the kickoff anyways. It's called the Heroes Foundation. And, really Vince Todd and his family started no different than we did in what we're doing. They've been in existence for 25 years and have just an amazing foundation. But their whole push is around, preventative care is what it is. So when you think about, colonoscopies and going for your exams and, skin and just all of the various different proactive approach that you can take to cancer. That's what the Hero Foundation is all about. And Vince has been great to us. He's really helped us, kind of model what we do as a nonprofit. So he's been a big help. But they have a cycling team, and so I've been on that now for probably better part of 15 years, and it's important, man. I mean, it just is. Like I didn't want to go get a colonoscopy, man, but I bit the bullet literally.
I think I've told you. So I've got ulcerative colitis, same family as Crohn's. Got sick at 32, so I can't count the amount. Especially when I was first sick and they're figuring things out. I was like every 6 months. Then I was once a year. Now I'm like every other year, every 18 months. So I'm an old pro at the old colonoscopy. And
I mean,
honestly, I told people it's great sleep.
That's what I just say. It's the best sleep you're going to get.
You wake up
man.
and you feel I'm all cleansed out.
And not only that, but if you find something, you want to find it early.
You want to find it early.
I mean, shit, dude.
Yep. I always have a nice time joking with the nurses in the room.
But I mean, in all seriousness, you are going to sleep well.
Yeah.
You might shed a couple pounds.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I said shed. I didn't say the other word.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you find something, it's better to get it found early than it is
the
late,
better.
man.
Exactly.
I mean, colon cancer is just such a bad one, man. I mean, any cancer is bad, but I mean, it's just one of those, as kind of the statistics said too, testicular cancer is a big one. I mean, I don't know, man.
Young men.
I just think it's a great, let me ask you, are there any other departments that you know of around town or the city or the state that do a Movember push like this?
I mean, I'm just one out there that gets mad.
I don't want to. I'm not saying.
I don't know of any that do what we're doing at the level, which is great. And I hope they start to. I mean, I don't know that any that have shirts or
right. They kind of have said, "Hey, we're going to plant a flag."
Yeah.
No, literally plant flags.
Yeah, we all get behind majority breast cancer, which is great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't. Like October, we've got our pink shirts, and I think that's awesome. Yeah. But it makes sense to roll right into Movember and kind of do that same thing during November to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's great, and it's funny because I reached out to one of my friends who is on the Fishers Fire Department. So I put a challenge out there. So I'm hoping that you guys have a team that comes out for the Swing for Hope.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it might be a fun little challenge between, the Fishers Fire Department and the Carmel Fire Department here. I mean, the Swing for Hope deal is it's a golf outing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you play. I'm sure you have. I mean, Top Golf is.
I'm pretty terrible.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to be great. I mean, listen, it's not like you got to be a pro. I mean,
we were just out for one of. I was mentioning that I shaved my mustache early.
I'm sad about it,
I was a
dude.
best man in a wedding last weekend, and so I did shave it for him. He's a firefighter. But we went out for a bachelor party.
Oh, with Top Golf? Yeah, right on.
And a group of us were there. And like I said, I was looking, I was like, I'm a little concerned about the people in the booth next to me. And first swing, I fired one off and just right at him. I mean, I was close to hurting him. I was like, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
hey, I'm terrible.
It won't happen again. I'll aim this way.
I'm terrible. But
it's okay, but you laughed.
It's great fun.
It's fun,
man.
right?
Oh,
so this is a pretty cool deal. We always try to do events, around different things in the year around mental health. So we do an event in May around National Mental Health Awareness Month, so that's May. We do one in September, like I mentioned, and then we try to do one in October, or not October, but November here, just to kind of, bring awareness, right? That's what we do. So anyways, I was like, everybody's been like, hey, man, you guys got to have a golf outing. Everybody has golf outings. I'm like, look, man, there's a handful of people out here that really enjoy spending 6 hours at a golf course. Okay, it's not many. Now, me, I would go because I love it. I've played golf since I was 10 years old, and somebody calls me and says, hey, you want to play an outing? I'm like, sure, but I know what I'm getting into. You know what I mean? Yep. It's 6 hours. So I'm like, how can we do one that's not an all-day event? It's going to consume everybody. That'll be fun, that everybody can go and play and at least have a good time. So we think we put a pretty good deal together. So, they're 3-man teams. It can be a 2-man team, too. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you want to do it singly, you can do that, too. But essentially, if, me and you and Austin are on a team and, you hit a ball and get 60 points and I hit one and get 40 points and he hits one and gets 200, we're taking his.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
a scramble style.
It's a scramble style.
Awesome.
That's exactly right.
That's the only way I play golf.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right?
If we use my ball once,
exactly.
Then it's good.
Yeah.
And at Top Golf, we may use it twice.
Maybe. And you can ricochet it. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. So, it'll be a lot of fun, man. We have a great sponsor. We've we have made some great progress this year. We've been in existence, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, since 2018. We had COVID in there, and so that kind of threw us for a loop, blah, blah, blah. But so anyways, so these last couple of years, we've had some really good progress. And this year, we're really, really excited. We've had a recent sponsor come on, Evans May Advisory. They're located here in Carmel. I'm going to plug them a little bit because they're great guys. Steve and Owen, super, super great dudes. But they're sponsoring this event for us, and I want to make sure people understand kind of what they do. They're behind mental health and mental wellness as strongly as anybody else. They've had a lot of people in their agency organization that have gone through some tough stuff, and so when I met with them and kind of was asking, because here's the deal that happened, Tim, like in a nonprofit world, you know, when you operate under $50,000 in gross receipts, it's pretty easy from a tax perspective. It just is. I mean, you don't have to do a lot. You just have to keep a clean bank account, blah, 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 and we do. But once you kind of get over that mark, things change a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And so, as you mentioned earlier, you know, you're like, hey, man, we're believers in Christ, and I am too. And something has just been whispering to me in this last, 6 months, like, hey, you know, just get things in order because things are going to start to happen. And I'm like, all right, keep hearing this, you know? So anyways, I reach out to my friend Owen, and I'm like, hey, you know, it's probably time that we find a partner from an accounting perspective. So he's like, well, come and meet with me and Steve, blah, blah, blah. So we just hit it off, and it's just serendipitous in terms of what they're doing, what we do, how we support mental health. And they're like, look, we want to be a partner to you. Look, we want to walk with you hand in hand in this thing. And so anyways, we kind of brainstormed this event. So Evans May Advisory is our sponsor, our pillar sponsor for this thing. And so they'll be out there. They're a lot of fun guys, man. So we got a lot of fun stuff planned. You know, we have lunch provided so you can come out and hang out, you know, just be a part of the day. Yeah. But more importantly as well, we're going to tee up, no pun intended. Nope, you see I did there. No pun intended. But we are going to tee up, obviously, the Movember campaign at the event and what we do, because, you know, as you guys have mentioned, you guys have chosen a charity, chose Building a Refuge as being a recipient of this, and we're grateful, man. Like, it's super helpful because, you know, we really stand on three things, man. We stand on awareness, education, and then funding. That's what we do around mental health. And so we're always grateful when we can give back. And the only way we can give back is if we have partners like you guys, man. So it'll be a fun event, dude.
Well, yeah. Thanks for
and it's great awareness. You know what I mean? Like, you get to have some fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun. We've had a ton of fun with it. From the planting flags at the Morning Sun.
Yeah.
To meeting
and
other
take
groups.
Your picture, like you said. Who doesn't want to have their picture by the prickly roundabout?
Yeah, who doesn't want to have it at that Morning Sun?
On. Yeah, the Morning Sun.
Who doesn't want a sunrise picture? So take that sunrise picture. Look it up if you don't know. Research it. It's right. Wonderful. Like,
it's on the far end of North Range Line Road. You can't miss it.
It is. It's right there.
Get your picture by it.
And we've got some serious flags getting planted right now. It's awesome. Like,
so Renee gave me a whole handful of flags too. I know I was going to ask you. So it's not just men focused, right? It's anybody that's dealt with cancer or whatever.
We'd want anybody.
Yeah,
like, we're taking, I mean, you don't have, and if, like we said, you don't have to, you know, make it towards Movember, but, you know, it goes to a good cause. This year, like I said, we always try to choose local, somebody that we can help that is going to give back to our community. And so that's what you guys are doing. And so it's a great partnership.
Yeah, man. No, it's fun. It's something fun to do. And, you know, we just,
and like you said, the wave starts going, you know, 2018, you've been, and it starts to build, right?
Yeah,
people start to hear about it. And
that's the I've just learned that too, man. Like, consistency has always been, to me, like one of the recipes for success in anything you do. But I mean, you just have to keep doing it. And what we've done, you know, Building a Refuge, we've tried a lot of things, you know, to get people to come out and, you know, bring awareness to this. And I'll be honest with you, man, sometimes, like Eric Robinson is the other founder, you know, man, we would just get like, what are we doing? But here's what would happen. I'll give you one story before we wrap up here. Harley Davidson is another really great sponsor partner of ours as well. So we do a lot of monthly meetings over there and things like that. And we have an event called the Rock and Ride for Hope that we do every year. And now it's going in, I think this year will be our 5th year doing it. But anyways, we have monthly meetings. And so Eric and I were sitting there, and I think we had I don't know. I'll just say we had like 10 people show up to a monthly meeting, which for us is not great. It's not bad, you know, because one person shows up. That's all we care about.
Yep.
So we're sitting there and we're like, man, you know, should we keep doing these monthly meetings like this? Like, what? We're like, is this? are we just doing this for us? You know what I mean? Like, are we just doing this to make ourselves feel good, or like, what are we doing? You know, so we're just kind of hanging out, and this husband and wife walk in, and so they're like, hey, what are you guys doing? You know, blah blah blah, and you know, we're like, well, we run a men's mental health organization. I said, you know, we do meetings here every month, and blah blah blah. And Eric started sharing a bit of his story, and I shared some of mine with it. This lady she just starts welling up and tearing up. She's like, you guys can't stop doing this. You got to keep doing it. She's like, you just got to keep doing it. She's like, and she looks over her husband, and she's like, right. Now, they didn't go into their story, but I just kind of had a feeling from them that they've obviously been through something in their life. But she's like, you can't. So they hung out with us for the rest of the day, ate some pizza. You know, we just hung out, talked about. And I, you know, when she left, I was like, Eric, we can't stop doing this, man.
Well, as you know, you guys discussed, and I just had this conversation recently with somebody about belief, and like, we get smacked in the face with it sometimes, like a sign, like, hey, yeah, I'm here, or I'm listening.
Yeah.
And sometimes I try to ignore it.
Oh, yeah.
More than once.
I'm telling you, man, like, but it's real. It's definitely real, because my hope is one day, Tim, that I can do this full time. I work a full time job, and I'm grateful. My company that I work for is fantastic. It does provide me some autonomy to be able to do stuff like this, and but I would love to do this full time. I really would. And you know, the Lord's leading me in that direction. I know He is. I just have to have patience to get there, right? Because I think as humans, we always want it, like, let's go, let's do it now, right? Let's get it done. And I think by nature, we're kind of wired that way too. Even speaking of mental health, I mean, we put a lot of expectation on ourselves, because think about it, dude. As a young guy, you probably in school, you know, it's like succeed. I mean, that's what you're just taught. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's not anything, I don't want to tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. It's setting goals, setting milestones, setting those things are a good thing to do, right? It's just when they become overwhelming to somebody is when you need to be able to have that balance of taking a step back to go, you know what, it's not the end of the world if I don't have shit figured out today. Yep. You know, it's not. It takes people time. That's what I would tell people. Yeah, like what I would tell, like, it's funny, man. I ran into this girl. I think I was at the airport traveling. You know, you just overhear people, you know. And so these two girls were talking at the counter, and this one girl was kind of giving this other girl, like, you know, some coaching. And she's like, you know, why do you got to think you got to figure all this out right now? You know what I mean? And the other girl's like, I'm going to go back to school. I want to do this. I want to do that. And so I got up to the counter. I was like, well, what is it that you really love doing? Like, what do you love to do? And she's like, I don't really know. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. You don't have to. I was like, how old are you? You know, you should ask me, like, how old are you? She's like, I'm 22. And I'm like, it's really okay. I got plenty of time. Right. So I don't know, man. I just think sometimes, but yeah, so I don't know, man. I mean, hopefully one day, man, we'll be able to do this, and I'll be able to do it full time. I mean, you never know, but great things have been happening, man. Like, this whole deal in November is great, you know? Oh, yeah. So, well, man, listen, we appreciate you coming on. Anything else you'd like to share with the audience? I mean, I know, again, you are the public information officer. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Carmel. Public so if you want to contact anybody, what's the best way to contact, especially for Movember? Yeah, Movember. Yeah. Well, our website, our social media, so our Instagram and Facebook page has a lot of these posts. You can find those links. So donate. Let's fill that roundabout with flags. Share it if you see the stories or hear about it. Make sure people know about it. They're talking about it. Talk about what we're doing here at Carmel, what we're doing at the bar. Like, make sure people know. Yeah, and I mean, I always tell people too. I always try, like, when we're sitting here, like, in the mindset, like, it's random, dude. Like, we're a part of this organization called Podbean. That's how we kind of push everything out. Like, I was shocked because there are people like in New Zealand and South Africa that are downloading this podcast. So go check out Carmel Fire Department, Carmel, Indiana. Dig around on them. Yeah. They're doing some really cool things. We've got a lot of fun social media. Check out Indie Coffee Roasters. Yeah. They're doing some really cool stuff too. Delicious. If you're ever in Carmel, Indiana, come and check it out. It's an amazing city, man. I mean, I've lived in Fishers. People in Fishers will tell me, like, we defunct, right? You went to Carmel. But we technically didn't. I lived here in 1991. And then my wife and I got married. We kind of moved around a little bit, and then we ended up in Fishers. Great place to raise the kids. Great city. Yeah, man. I mean, I loved our experience in Fishers. The only reason we ended up moving over here was like, I was sick and tired of raking leaves and doing shit around the house, so we bought a condo. Yeah, well, and Indiana in general. Yeah, I love Indiana. I always tell the kids, even if I hit the lottery and had all the money in the world, home base is here for me. Yeah, people are nice. It's just It is,
I like
man.
to change the season. Don't get me wrong. February, I'm going somewhere warm. But I'm coming back.
It is. Well, Tim, thanks a bunch, man. We appreciate
you.
Thanks for choosing us as a recipient for Movember. Super, super grateful for that. We'd love to have some more guests come on from the fire department if they're open, so I'll reach out through you. But Austin, if you always, as you do, man, share our audience with all the resources that we have. And
yeah, man. So for anyone that is struggling out there, there is help for you. We have some resources here on the screen. For veterans, there's a veterans hotline. You can text 838-255. You can also call or text the National Suicide Hotline number at 988. And then if you would like to have a free, anonymous conversation about your mental health and struggles you're going through, you can text REFUGE, REFUGE, to 494949. And a professional will be there to help you and talk through things you're going for. If you'd like to listen to any more of our podcasts, watch them. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and at buildingrefuge.com. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Tim, thanks a bunch again. We'll catch you next time on the Mental Health Hour.